Hey guys, F1 26 here. Welcome to highlights of round 6 of season 4 of the F1 League, and we are in Monaco today. We didn't race here last season, and this is one of the only tracks on the calendar that I have not done a league race round before, so it'll be very interesting to see how this one goes. So coming down into turn 1 then, we miss our apex ever so slightly with a bit of understeer, but we managed to take it overall quite nicely as we now head up the hill towards Monaco Casino. Currently green on our delta as we head through Monaco, taking that quite nicely now into Casino. We missed the apex slightly, and as you can see, that causes our delta to go red as we now head down into the Monaco corner, down into second gear, trying to get on the power nice and early and avoid the wall which sticks out on the left. Hairpin full lock through here. Can we get on the power nice and early? Yes, we can. Up to third and then briefly down to second once again, and down to first for the second Portier to get the car turned in and back up to second immediately. Our delta is currently green, but there it just switches to red as we did not carry enough speed on the exit of Portier. Now heading into the Nouvelle Chicane, we take this nicely. First gear up to second, down to first, get a good exit from here. Not amazing, a lot of wheel spin there, but we've managed to hold it and avoid the walls to back. We missed the apex slightly and lose about a tenth through there, but we absolutely nailed that on our previous lap. Now coming through the chicane here, can we nail that? Yes we can. We actually made a mistake there on our previous lap, so our delta now goes to green as we gained a tenth or two. Coming through Raskas now and Antonios, we take those both reasonably well. Maybe a bit more speed could have been taken through Antonios as we head up to the line for 1 minute 13.1, which puts us fourth on the grid at the moment. So I just thought I'd show you that my previous lap as we head into the Nouvelle Chicane. We absolutely nailed that on the power, nice and early, no wheel spin whatsoever pretty much as we now head towards the back, and this was it, full commitment there. Missing the walls, smashing the apex pretty much, absolutely nailing that. And here was the mistake, we flew through there, but we just got a bit too eager on the power, and that was what lost us time. I reckon that would have been a 13 flat, maybe a 12.9, but as you can see, Dizzy Cupid takes pole ahead of the two Sauber boys with RBZ in his front of Mike Marshmallow. Dizzy actually crashed on his second lap, but still managed to get pole. Ourselves in 4th, Sam 5th, Casey Jones in 6th, Hamilton Fan in 7th, Silent Mole in 8th, and Geston Zinker the last driver to set a time as everyone else crashed or retired. So here we are on the grid, and as you can see, the game is telling us that the one stop is the strategy to go for, and I agree, the tyres will get a bit warm, but it's much better to have track position than to be having to overtake people. As you can see, no rain, thank God, and we just lowered the fuel load there because we do not need 39 laps of fuel. There will be a safety car, and you don't run rich that much anyway at Monaco. So lights are now coming on for the formation lap, but no one cares. I think I will actually leave it out, the highlights from Canada onwards, because it's not really a necessary addition. So unless you guys really want to see the start and the end of the formation lap, I will leave it out unless something interesting happens, like a massive crash. But here you go, coming through the final corner behind the two Saubers, and Sam and Casey Legend disappear there. I think they had contact through Raskas. We're now pulling up onto the grid, a few cars there who have been kicked off, and we shall pull up into our grid slot for 4th place behind the two Sauber boys and alongside Sam on the right. But obviously we have the outside line into turn 1, which in real life is the dirty side of the grid, but I don't think it really makes a difference on this game. But now we do have the lights. We had 3 lights, and now we have 4, and it's 5 lights, and it's lights out and away we go. We get a reasonable start. Sam's got an absolute rocket off the line. We managed to hold him back for the time being. We break quite late into turn 1, but RBZ going very slowly there, and we damaged our wing. That is disastrous. I'm pretty sure RBZ could have been going a lot quicker into turn 1 there. I was not too overambitious. And once again, Mike going slowly into Massenet, and we are very, very lucky that we have not gone straight into the wall there as we managed to continue on now. But we do have a damaged front wing, and this is going to seriously hamper our race as we've got Sam up the inside, and we're probably going to let him go there. There's no point in trying to hold on into the hairpin, and indeed he is. Look at the understeer we have through the hairpin. We're going to have to pit because, frankly, there's no way we're going to be able to hold on for a long stint on these tyres. So we're going to have to hope for a safety car and lots of people crashing out, which is going to happen, but a result of a possible podium is now pretty much out of the window due to that incident, which I don't fully believe is my fault, to be honest. I think RBZ could have been going a lot quicker. As you can see, Sam has already got away a lot on this first lap, so it just clearly shows that we do need to pit. We've currently got Hamilton fan behind us who's had a good start. He's managed to jump ahead of Casey Legend as we head into the chicane there. Just the objective is to not damage our car, and then we should be fine as we head into Raskas now and into the pit lane. You have to be very careful not to speed into here, because unless you take a really stupid line, the speed thing doesn't come up till literally right as you're coming up to it. So if you do speed, you will get a penalty, as I found out in Russia. So it's much less than ideal. So we're going to come in now, change the wing. We'll go on to a set of super soft tyres, and then we'll go on to ultra softs again at the end. But now we do have a safety car because NLFG has retired from the race. So that has basically saved us because we're down in 12th at the moment. And without this safety car, I do not think we would have a chance of getting back up to the pack. So this is going to bunch the pack up and possibly cause a lot of carnage on the restart. So there you go, passing the safety car now as we head up the hill once again, and hopefully we can now catch the pack. So heading through Casino now, just trying to avoid the walls. We don't want to crash into the safety car, that'd be extremely embarrassing. But now a lap later, the game is actually telling us to pass the safety car, and we got very close there, just smashing into the back a bit. And we were very lucky actually not to get damaged as you look through Massenet rather. If you look at the video then, I did hit the wall very hard on the outside. But we're waiting for the safety car decides it's going to go through me there, and we remove the illegal overtake, but we'll pass it once again and we get another illegal overtake. So this is clearly the return of the safety car glitch, a different kind of safety car glitch, but once again a safety car glitch, which is going to mean that this race is going to have to be abandoned because Gaston Zinker in front has been disqualified. Let's have a lot of other people. As you can see, the number of people in the race has dropped to 10, and one of those is an AI car, Project 994. So this is very annoying that once again the safety car has not been fixed, even though there's a patch which supposedly fixed it, as there's now only 9 people left in the race. So we need to unfortunately disable the safety car from Canada onwards until there is a patch which actually does fix the safety car. So you've got Gaston Zinker and Project interestingly merging inside each other there, so that's very interesting. Pretty much Zinker's actually out of the race at this point, so we decide let's overtake the safety car again, and this time we get the falling too far back. So obviously even if we do let the safety car back through, that's not going to make a difference. We'll still keep the falling too far back, so we have to gun it now. But obviously at this point I knew the race was going to get abandoned. There was no way we were going to continue this, so I fly across the chicane, who cares about that, and as a result into Tobacco I own miles deep because I didn't know where to brake, even though I've got the racing line on. So well done, I'm so good at this game, and then I just fly across there in anger and I've absolutely destroyed my car. So yeah, that was a really good race, wasn't it, for one lap. So we'll now head into attempt 2. So obviously the fact that we've restarted the race gives us the opportunity to choose a different kind of strategy. So maybe we can start on the super softs, because I don't know, maybe it'll be a different strategy which could help us out at the end of the race. But I think in the end I decided to go on the ultra softs because I reckon I'll get more track position that way, and hopefully I can defend that once again, lowering our fuel load because we don't need that much fuel, and loading our setup. No formation lap this time, just one lap, with Dizzy Cupid as the effective leaders of the safety car for everyone to slow down and get into order behind that. So we just need to avoid contact because I'm sure some people will damage their cars under the formation lap in inverted commas, but we've managed to get up to 4th already from literally the back of the grid, so we've done a good job there. Past Scorch Crab now and past Sam. So we are now into position until the Salve boys catch up and pass us for their 2nd and 3rd. So here we go, coming through Portia. As you can see on the track map, there's a bit of carnage going on at Massenet, and that's basically because people were slowing down too much to let other people through, which therefore led to bringing out yellow flags, which meant people were getting illegal overtakes. So that was causing carnage. As you saw, RBZ goes flying through there. He actually got damaged, so he decided to screw the formation lap and pit. So that was a bit naughty. As then we get a penalty for illegal blocking. So that's really well done, isn't it, game? Because I was definitely blocking Sam illegally there, but obviously the game isn't made for us to do impromptu formation laps, so I guess it's sort of fair enough, but not really. But at the end of the lap, we're going to go anyway, even though Mike has not managed to get into position. That's sort of, well, it's not really his fault, but it's other people's fault for going too slowly to cause yellow flag. So we basically inherited 2nd place with RBZ in the pit, so that's just fantastic, isn't it? Because we're now sitting in with the podium opportunity as we head down into the chicane on what is effectively that one, and we are very, very close to crashing out on the first proper lap of this race. As you can see, slowing it down there, we had to turn out of the corner there to avoid the wall, and I'm guaranteed that would have probably ripped our wheel off. And then lap 4, heading into the back, once again slowing it down. Look how close we got to the wall on the entrance there, so playing with danger here as we try and keep up with Dizzy Cupid. At the end of lap 5 we set, at the end of lap 4 sorry, we set our personal best lap of a 14.9, and we're just managing to hold every position, slowly pulling out on Sam, who's on the super soft, if I didn't mention, as we now coming through Massenet, as we actually touched the wall there on lap 7, so that was very lucky once again to not get damaged from that. And again, later on lap 7, coming down into New Chicane, we take the first part nicely, but now on the next, we're going to slow it down here. Look how close we got to the walls there. That was ridiculously close, and we are flirting with the barriers here. We're very, very lucky not to get any damage so far. Now on lap 8, there's a yellow flag. For some reason, someone's clearly crashed. Once again, coming through Casino, and look, once again, having to adjust our turn-in to avoid losing potentially a wheel there. So this just shows how much I was pushing, and once again, lap 9, we turned in too early into the chicane there, and we were lucky once again not to get any damage. Once again, lap 10, I think that was, clipping the rear at Massenet and lapping Vapid Coot on lap 11. So yeah, I think he's just trying to play it safe and not get any damage to hope to score any points. So lap 12, we go very deep into Rascasse, and we were quite lucky there once again not to get any damage. Lap 13, heading into Tabac, run too deep, smashed the wall on the outside, and that was probably the luckiest of all of them, to be honest, because we did hit that wall very hard to get no damage. So at lap 16, something actually is going to happen. We're going to come into the pit lane now to serve our pit stop and what will also be our 5-second stop go for what was apparently illegal blocking. So there's going to be a longer pit stop, and that's going to be unfortunate because obviously Sam will be on the super softs at the end, and we're going to lose more ultra softs at the end. So we're going to lose more time than I would like to him. As you can see, the pit crew are now waiting for 5 seconds. And now they start the pit stop proper. So we're lucky we didn't have any front wing damage. Otherwise, that'd be like a 15-second pit stop, which would not be nice. But we come out in some nice clear air. Gaston Zinka was too far behind us, who I must say is doing a brilliant job considering he's on the pad to still be in the race. I think Gaston Zinka, Gauche Crab, and Silent Mole all struggling on the pad this week. So it'll be very interesting to see if all of these guys can manage to finish. So once again on lap 17, very close to the barriers on the entrance to the chicane there. Very lucky to once again not crash. But now once again later on lap 17, you can see the gap to Sam is 19.6 seconds. So I suspect that would be a lot less if we hadn't had the penalty, probably 5 seconds less, because obviously it was a 5-second penalty. So now a few laps later, lap 22, we've got it down to 12.4, so that just shows how bad his old super soft tyres are. So we should emerge well in front of him as we now come to the end of lap 23. Sam is indeed in the pits for a set of ultra softs, and he will be going for the last 16 laps on those tyres, and he'll have to catch and pass us, which I'm sure he will catch us, but whether we can defend against him is another question. But now, on lap 26, our worst nightmare pretty much, we've got Grumpy Alarm and Casey Legend battling, and we need to lap these guys. Casey Legend nicely gets out of the way. He told me after the race that he was trying to use me to pass Lion, which wasn't particularly successful in the end, but that's how it works, I guess. So we now need to pass Lion, and hopefully these two can battle and get in the way of Sam, so we get a bit more of a buffer, because he was closing rapidly on us. Lion pulls out the way nicely, and we move up. Well, we don't move up anywhere, but we've cleared those guys, and hopefully we won't come across any more back markers for the rest of the race. Sorry. So now, on lap 28, we do have Sam behind us as we head down into turn 1. He's not close enough with the DRS. We were getting good exits out of the corners that mattered, like Portier and the final corner. So hopefully if we can continue that throughout the rest of the race, although we were quite weak out of turn 1 there, so Sam is having a look. We have to be very careful now to defend and hold this position, because I think he will just sprint away if he does get past. So heading down into Mirabeau now, he's actually having a look. We didn't see him on the inside, and we've turned in there, and that was ridiculous from us. Very dangerous driving, in my opinion, from myself, because that could have easily resulted in both of us crashing, and now we have to do about a 75-point turn to get this turning in the right direction. We have damaged our wing once again, so I suspect we will actually just pit, because we've got a ridiculous gap to Zinka behind. He's just trying to bring the car home with the pad, and he's doing a very good job, as I said earlier, in fourth. So coming into the pit lane, once again, not speeding into the pit lane, good stuff from us there, and we will put on a set of ultra soft tyres, to run to the end of the race. So we should cement third place, and unless Sam crashes, that will be a good result for us, and maybe it should move us higher up in the standings, because Mike Marshmallow actually DNS from this race. He hasn't done it yet, but I think but he does retire. He has a collision with Silent Mole going into turn 1, which was a racing incident really. So that means that if we finish third, we will in fact pass him in the standings, but REZ is still in this race for the moment, and if he finishes, wherever he finishes, we will stay behind him in the championship. So once again, slowing it down there on lap 31, still pushing very hard and getting close to the wall in case there's an incident in front of us and Sam loses his front wing. Once again having to adjust our turning into Tabac as well. But now on lap 32 is this, heading through Casino. And we've got a bit of lag going in front of us now with Grumpy Lion on lap 35, but he nicely gets out of the way of us, so thanks to Lion for not making my life too difficult when lapping at him. He's just trying to stay in the race, and he will bring home some solid points for the third race in a row. But as you can see, Dizzy Cupid is actually disconnected here with 3 laps to go, but he has such a massive lead over Sam. Even if he can't rejoin, I think his AI car will still win the race. But as you can see, just 1 lap later, he has rejoined, so only hope of Sam winning the race is now over. But Dizzy Cupid did take home the win, no surprises there, and Sam will probably come home in second unless he crashes in the final corner or something. We're still pushing quite hard because why not? Let's have a bit of fun here as we head through Rathcast. And now the final corner to take home our second podium of the season here in Monaco. It's a solid 3rd place, and that will move us back up into 3rd in the championship. And we did very well, in my opinion, to complete that race without getting any damage apart from the incident with Sam. But as you can see, Dizzy Cupid takes out the win, Sam in 2nd, myself in 3rd, Gaston Zinker doing a solid job on the pad to take home 4th there, Casey Legend in 5th, and Grumpy Lion in 6th, RBZ in 7th, and everyone else DNF. Also Grumpy Lion was on the pad as well, so good job to those guys on the pad. Obviously only the top 3 finishing on the lead lap. Dizzy's victory margin would have been a lot larger if it hadn't been for the disconnection. So thanks for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the race with a lot of close calls with the walls, even though there wasn't too much action this time. But I hope to see you next week for what will be highlights on the Canadian Grand Prix, and I'm sure that will be a good one. Thanks for watching. Goodbye.